Rob Wolf, Andy D's back with episode 46, The Paleolithic Solution, and you are officially worldwide, right?
I guess so. I'm on the road, that's for sure.
Hey man, I looked at some of the sales numbers, via what's available. Yes. And also, for those who have not checked out the new robwolf.com, there's a handy little link in the contact area to send your podcast questions directly to the right place. I don't know why I was just reminded of that, Rob, but I'm just going to throw that out there.
Cool.
Cool. Hi, Rob and Andy. I'm a listener from Singapore, a.k.a. the little red dot. Because our country is small, it is marked by a little red dot on the world map. Anyway, love your podcast. Love your so-called ramblings. Keep rambling. Haha. 2 questions. Living in Asia, it's very difficult to convince my mom to give up the daily staples like rice and noodles. Her waistline is expanding as she ages, and I'm getting worried. One of her arguments for the increasing number of metabolic diseases around the world is that as we are living longer than our ancestors, hence allowing such diseases to surface, unlike in the past when people would have died without having to go through such diseases. I understand that her argument is flawed to a certain extent, but then again, there is some truth to her argument. So my question is, what is your response to her argument, and how can I convince her to cut down on starches such as rice, noodles, and grains?
This just gets into a big problem. One, trying to convince family of anything is almost a failed endeavor. I think it's worth a try. We had a woman at the most recent Atlanta gig who 3 weeks before the gig was wheelchair bound due to multiple sclerosis. And then her son begged her to give paleo a shot. So she went gluten-free, dairy-free paleo. And then when she showed up at the cert, she was walking with a walker, which was completely, obviously a huge change. She was literally wheelchair bound 3 weeks before that. So the stuff will work if you can get people to do it. The unfortunate thing is that usually convincing our family is the biggest area of failure of any subsection of people that we're going to try to influence, and that just sucks, but it's kind of the way it is. I don't know. How do you walk up to your mom and say, hey, Mom, you don't know what you're talking about. Hunter-gatherers didn't gain weight as they aged. We have tons of documented info on this. I mean, I don't know. That's the facts. That's the reality. And then you can just back all this stuff up, which is where I usually like to go with this, is that experiential N equals 1 thing of, Mom, let's not talk theory per se. Let's try this for a month. And if I'm wrong, then the worst thing that's going to happen is that you spend a month not eating some of your more favorite foods. If I'm right, then it's going to improve your health and you're going to look better and feel better. And so that's really where I would start and end the whole thing. If she's a very cerebral person, then you could track down some of the information from Lauren Cordain. I cover this stuff extensively in my book too, just talking about the fact that hunter-gatherers absolutely did not gain weight as they aged, and they had significant numbers of them live into advanced age, and we have both anthropological and archaeological evidence of this stuff. So that's the best I can do on that.
All right. You keep mentioning grass-fed beef and seldom mention other protein sources like pork and chicken. Is there a reason to this? Are pork and chicken inferior than beef? Also, have you heard that it's better to eat meat coming from animals with 4 legs than animals with 2 legs? Thanks, guys. Keep up the good work. I'm trying to do my best to spread the word about paleo lifestyle over here.
I usually just mention the grass-fed beef because it's one of the only kind of consistently pastured sources that people can find, but there are pastured pork sources, free-range chicken.